Hey, folks, we're back, and sometimes, well, the truth is stranger than fiction. And a couple of weeks ago, we were joking about how maybe there'll be a gold phone with Trump's insignia on it. And lo and behold, the Trump organization, which is run by the president's sons, has come up with that very thing, a US built gold phone that you can now not only buy, but you can subscribe to their service. And Alan, I don't know, are you going to rush right out and get one of these? It seems like,
I pre-ordered it on Kickstarter. So let's just make a few things very clear here. First of all, the Trump organization is still run by Donald Trump. Beavis and Butthead, his two sons, are the president or whatever the other one's title is, chief bottle washer. But Donald Trump is still intimately involved with the decisions, strategies, and everything else. It's not like in previous administrations where you had stand-up people and they put their assets into a blind trust. Maybe Beavis and Butthead are deaf, dumb, and blind, but this is not a blind trust. Donald Trump picks this. Now, do we need another phone and phone service in the world? Hell no. But there's a certain percentage of people, at least in the U.S., usually the guys driving around in the pickup trucks with those flags that are bigger than the pickup trucks and say stupid things on them. They'll go out and buy it just because it matches their Donald Trump salt and pepper shakers and their other Donald Trump memorabilia. Me personally, I'm looking forward to the day where we get infomercials with Joe Namath and Donald Trump talking about buying a reverse mortgage for your loved ones or $1,000 life insurance. Or how about Donald and Beavis and Butthead saying, wait, there's more. And, selling OxyClean or something. There's the depths of what this grifter and his grifter family do is ridiculous. The embarrassing thing is he's the president of the United States and we call ourselves Americans. Well, not all of us here on the show today, right? Let's be clear. I have nothing more to say to it other than it's disgusting.
So, Evgeniy, from Canada, what does this look like for you guys?
So I'm a geek, first of all, okay? So I always geek out on technology. And I was kind of waiting what new phones will come up. In general, I like innovations. There was no innovation in phones industry. The Samsung S21, 22, 23, 25, 26, it's all the same phone with some kind of improving camera. Yeah. iPhone 12, 13, 15, I don't know what's the difference. So I was waiting for my phone to basically, if I put it in a boil of water, it will boil water or it will do something fancy. Nothing like this right now. So I don't expect innovation in this phone. I guess the idea that what triggered my mind, the idea behind the phone, that the phone going to be made in US. Hypothetically interesting idea. So I went...
Wait a second, are you saying this phone is made in the US?
This is the entire idea I'm thinking. So the idea is not to have a phone. The idea is to have a phone made in US. So phone has hundreds of components, passive and some active, microchips. I am not well familiar with the entire microchip space, but we have RAM, we have CPUs, we have the displays, we have even the transistors and the small electronic parts not made in US.
None of them are made in the US, so maybe it's assembled in the US.
Yeah, so now being a security dude is like, what is the features in phones in security? Let's brainstorm. Fingerprint is one. Probably one of the main ones that are security related. Guess what? Samsung has their own iPhone made in one, not in US. I don't think there's any US manufacturers that making fingerprints, especially assembling them or like here. So the part that let's make something in US is very intriguing because maybe you're right, Alan, it's going to be assembly, but we're going to buy it from somewhere else. But this entire idea, let's make everything in US is intriguing and a bit sci-fi in my mind.
Look, the only thing that this phone's going to do innovative is separate you from your money and give it into the Trump people.
It'll do more than that. And let me try to, in these sort of conversations, these are, when you look at security and sociology and all this stuff over grand scales, if I'm trying to secure somebody's car or their company, that's different. But in a conversation like this, it's less about the individual actors most of the time. And everybody knows my opinions on the actors on the stage, but I'm trying to think in terms of systems. And this is a good example of what's happening. So this is focusing on the narrative and the approach of a set of thought that I don't agree with and I think is not going to work a long time, but we're going to test it out on the global stage right now. Maybe I'm wrong. Instead of a identity tag, physical, cyber, literally a big crystal echo chamber where you can concentrate a demographic and control and influence that narrative, make Cambridge Analytica look like, tissue paper. I think that, I control that narrative. I think sharing the narrative, we all live in the same world, right? This whole civic AI thing, as you look at the different structures of it, I think of Dave Unsel in Oak Hill, Florida, who flew a drone over my boats and then watched him for months and voted for Trump and is a good grandfather. And we agree the big problem is we can't see the same world. So if we could just all agree that Dave was standing there at a point in time with his grandkids and build out from there, that might give us a mesh, a social web like we honestly used to have in many ways. Not the time and place probably of that. As you look back, we used to have these ways of marking down what's going on so we could all reference that. That's going away. So we can concentrate our stories all in one big block and control them better, or we can, distribute it, share the same story and pieces of it enough that we can all talk together. So this is I think the classic example of one idea and one set of actors going the full concentration, full control of the story route. I don't think it's a good idea. I don't think it'll win in the end, but we're going to find out.
I think we've given it too much oxygen already, guys. How's that? All right. On that note, hey, we're going to wrap up our Wednesday show. In the big scheme of things, when we look at this show, it's not going to be remembered for the Trump gold phone. It's going to be remembered because it was Evgeny's first TechStrong Gang. So thank you, Evgeny, for joining. Sure, you're going to be adding a lot in the days and weeks to come.
I would just want to put some money on, in Vegas as to when the first hack of Trump Mobile is going to be. That's probably the next thing.
The black hat is
It was Elon. It was Elon. Chris, I keep doing what you're doing. I've been loving reading the social media and Lumina and everything you got going on there. So you and I will chat offline. Mike, I'll be in touch.
She's looking forward to writing for you. So we'll talk about that too.
He's the chief content officer. That's the guy to talk to. All right, guys. That's a wrap on today's TechStrong Gang. We've got, as usual, a full TechStrong TV schedule following today, so stay tuned for that. Hey, just a heads up, I will be in New York next week for PlatformCom. Not just me, our TechStrong TV crew will be broadcasting live there, so check that out. But for now, this is Alan Schimmel. We're out of here.